Now on CoastTV News.
Right now, we are still tracking the last remnants of the storms that prompted a tornado warning in the northern portion of the state and our neck of the woods as well. I'll give you the latest on the damage report from this system.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Ominous dark clouds just moments before the tornado warning in Dewey Beach. Good evening, I'm Brandon Ferguson. Welcome to CoastTV News at 11. We begin tonight with Sussex County being in a tornado warning for 45 straight minutes. For a look at what happened earlier and what to expect for the rest of the night, we bring back in First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening to you, Brandon. I want to update you on what's going on for right now. We were under a severe thunderstorm watch throughout most of the night. That's been allowed to expire here, pardon me. As you take a look right now, we are currently under a flood watch. Because we had the system that dumped so much rain in such a short period of time in some isolated pockets, we are concerned about flooding, and we do have a few flood warnings to talk about as well. Widening the scope of this, we're starting to pick up on getting some reports of damage coming in the most western portions of the Delmarva Peninsula. Now, with that being in mind, for example, we have a report in Princess Anne power lines was knocked down at about 8:41. We were placed under a tornado warning right around 9 o'clock to about 9:45. In the wake of that, we still have concerns for flash flood warning in effect throughout Somerset, places like Fairmont, Crisfield, as well as Frog Eye. In addition to that, we still have an active severe thunderstorm watch off of the coast for Indian Beach, Ocean View, Fenwick Island. So the beaches, not the inland areas, but the beaches are still under a severe thunderstorm watch, bracing for that possibility. A wider scope of this showing you that we had widespread structural damage on the other side of the peninsula, but they received their damage a little bit earlier. We really just started getting some of our reports in, so we may have more in the way of reports available for you for tomorrow morning. But aside from that, here's the latest rendition of the rain. We see some embedded showers where you see the yellow is at right here. And that's where we're seeing the more active embedded showers. The general movement is still to the northeast at approximately 15 to 20 miles per hour. I'm expecting for a heavy downpours to still push throughout Chincoteague, going up towards Snow Hill and headed towards Ocean City. Here's some of the rainfall amounts. We had over 1 3/4 in Delmar, over 1.5 inches in Bethany Beach, and we're still counting, by the way. More than 1 inch in Prime Hook, Laurel, as well as Seaford and Stokely. We had over 1 inch for us in Georgetown, over 1.5 inches in Cambridge, and then we're keeping a close eye on any additional scattered showers by 1 o'clock in the morning in Lewis, as well as downtown Georgetown and down towards the Delmar region. We'll have more on your full forecast coming up in a few moments. Till then, back to you, Brandon.
Thank you for that, Paul. On your screen now is the 1100th building of the Hollybrook Apartments in Laurel. That's where officers say shots were fired early Tuesday morning. Just before 10 a.m., police spotted a suspicious vehicle that later matched the description from the shooting. Inside were Tajah Jenkins and Richardson Charles, both wearing clothing matches what witnesses said they had on. Officers say Jenkins was driving under the influence, and a search turned up over 2 pounds of marijuana, 2 loaded guns, and both men face multiple drug and weapon charges and are being held on cash bail. Phase 2 of the Dover Industrial Park project was discussed today at the city's Development Advisory Committee meeting. The site, located on Lafferty Lane, is already seeing progress, with Phase 1 currently under construction for a multi-tenant warehouse-style building. Phase 2 would expand the project by adding 2 more buildings to the site. City leaders say the goal is to expand Dover's industrial footprint and create new opportunities for local businesses.
There's an opportunity for either one tenant or multiple tenants to become part of the city of Dover, providing employment opportunities, servicing local businesses, any number of exciting new things for Dover.
City leaders tell us plans for Phase 2 will go before the Planning Commission in about 2 weeks. That's when a public hearing will be held to gather input in Dover. Last evening, CoastTV was there after a pontoon boat hit a rock and flipped over in West Ocean City. Now, that's 2 mishaps in just the last 36 hours. We talked to longtime boaters in the area who told CoastTV, you really have to know your way around the inlet or else you could very easily get stuck or worse.
On Tuesday, a pontoon boat in Ocean City crashed into a rock along the inlet and flipped over. According to the Ocean City Fire Department, all 5 of the passengers on the boat were accounted for, as the U.S. Coast Guard pulled the upside-down pontoon boat to the West Ocean City harbor. That's when longtime boater Dan Donatelli saw the upside-down boat. According to Donatelli, not knowing where all the rocks are in the inlet can be dangerous.
There's a lot of them that are submerged, and people don't realize it. And, they're not very far down, and they just hit them and cause damage to their boats.
But rising sand is causing trouble for boaters too. This boat got stuck minutes away from where the pontoon boat capsized before it was towed away. Local Larry Lamont watched the entire thing and says that sand is so high that boaters have to be precise when sailing near the inlet.
As you saw today, typical example, you just go one way or the other, and unfortunately got stuck.
And with the White Marlin Open only weeks away, dredging is scheduled.
Very important. Got a lot of boats coming in. It draws a lot of people.
Some want to see even more.
There's a lot of submerged rocks over there, and it would be nice if the Coast Guard would put a light on there or something, but definitely need to follow the markers.
Boaters looking for action to be taken near the inlet.
On that emergency dredging that's expected for West Ocean City, it is set to begin a week ahead of schedule. DNR says the dredge will arrive around Monday, with work beginning the following day on Tuesday. They say dredging will take roughly 8 to 10 days. Roughly 7,500 cubic yards of material will be removed. It comes as the White Marlin Open fishing tournament returns in August. And this brings us to our CoastTV poll. We want to know, how often do you see boating accidents? Let's take a look at our updated results from our 6 p.m. news hour. So far, majority 55% say never seen, and 31% saying rarely. If you still haven't voted, you can on our CoastTV mobile app or on our website, coasttv.com. Part of Cave Neck Road is still closed for repairs, according to DelDOT. DelDOT says the project is on schedule and the road is expected to reopen in mid-August. And on your screen now, that blue line is Cave Neck Road, and the red line shows the detour that drivers have been taking for about 2 months. What normally takes 10 minutes to drive now takes 18 minutes depending on the time of day, because it's a main connecting road from Milton to Route 1. Some locals we spoke with say it's been chaos.
It's been really a bad place to be, especially if there's an accident up on the highway. They come down this road here, and it's really terrible.
In Salisbury, the most critical developments project is getting a lift. Governor Wes Moore announced grant awards for Maryland's Business Ready Sites program. The Salisbury Regional Airport is among the 6 projects across the state to receive the money. $450,000 earmarked to prepare land for new hangars. Salisbury Airport also received a site characterization grant for a business park adjacent to the airfield. Also in Salisbury, Tidal Health announced the creation of a new intermediate care unit at the Salisbury location. Organizers say it will better serve more stressed patients by working with Systems hospitals in Berlin and Seaford. Renovations for the new 28-bed in the Layfield Tower have already started. We are told the PCU on 2 South will also be transformed into a permanent 18-bed observation unit in Salisbury. Shifting sands along the dunes at Broadkill Beach have Delaware officials searching for solutions. These are the dunes at Broadkill Beach, and they're experiencing erosion. A proposal from DENREC is intended to fix that. It would realign a 1-mile section of the dune and shift it landward, along with the redistribution sand to the erosion center, and improve the beach access points. People living in the area say the shores need some help.
Recently, past 5 years, I'd say, it's like beaches just become super small, and the drop off, it's hard, people would love to drive on with their ATVs and stuff, but it's really hard. And I feel like it just sucks.
Members of the Broadkill Beach Preservation Association tell us to expect DENREC officials at their meeting on July 19th to review this project. Coming up, over 100 dead from Texas flooding as the floods enter day 6.
The Bay forecast, we're looking for scattered showers to continue to be a problem for us throughout the rest of the evening as we brace for the possibility of flooding. We'll have your full forecast and update you on what's happening with the storms coming up in 60 seconds. To update you what's going on, we're no longer under a severe thunderstorm watch or any additional tornado advisories, watches, or warnings of such. However, we are concerned about widespread flooding still in the area because these storms literally dumped a tremendous amount of rain in a very short period of time. But we're out of the woods as far as the intense cells are concerned, moving across the region, causing any more warnings so far. Our dry tech camera, Ocean City, 75 degrees. It's a rain-cooled atmosphere right now, so we dropped by about 20 degrees, quite honestly. Kind of like throwing water on a hot pan. We've just cooled off thanks to the water. We're in the 70s right now, 73 in Lewis, Rehoboth Beach, 73 actually, Bethany Beach. Dew point temperature is still elevated though. Just a tremendous amount of moisture. We would hope that the storms we had tonight would begin to kind of zap a lot of this away and just kind of squeeze the atmosphere out. That's not what's happening. We're still staying waterlogged as far as our moisture content in the atmosphere is concerned, close to the ground. Our flood watch is still activated until 2 o'clock in the morning. That's for all of Sussex. That's including Ocean Pines, Ocean City, Snow Hill, Goodwill, and all the way over towards Cambridge as well, meaning that we have the potential for flooding to occur with little to no effort. And we have excessive rainfall outlook across the Delmarva Peninsula still holding true to form. Here's the latest look at what's happening with the radar. Now, we still see steady downpours in Morris Hill, Millsboro, Phillips Hill, and Cross Keys. So we're looking at a good deal of puddling along Highway 113 right now. Also along Highway 9 from Georgetown to Lewis. This was actually the path of the previous aforementioned tornado warning that kicked off at about 9 o'clock, ended at about 9:45. But then the cells began to turn more northward, actually. But we tracked that as well. Now we're still seeing some leftover remnants of some severe thunderstorm warnings, or watches, pardon me, and warnings in effect off of the water. Now, I'm still picking up some small circulations to our southwest, but it looks like this entire system is going to lean out into the water before it begins to bother us. Some of the reports we have right now, we have over 1 3/4 of an inch of rain that fell in Delmar, over 1.5 inches in Bethany Beach, 1 1/4 Prime Hook, over 1 inch in Laurel, close to that in Dagsboro, Seaford, and Stokely. Just over 1 inch of rain. We had 1 inch for us officially in Georgetown, over 1.5 inches in Cambridge, just shy of 1/4 inch officially in Ocean City, but we're still tabulating in Ocean City. Over 1 inch in Milford, 0.82 in Georgetown, different site in Georgetown, 3/4 inch in Ellendale and Lewis, and then we closed in on 1/8 inch of rain, for example, in Harbison. Now, when you begin to take a look at where our numbers are just from that rain, okay, and why we're concerned about flooding, we're nearly 1 inch beyond our normal rainfall total for this month alone, and we're only at the 9th of July. And for the year, we're closing in on 2.5 inches beyond our normal rainfall total. Are we expecting more? Forecast models are saying yes. As we go into Thursday, we're looking for scattered showers to slide through. Then by 5 o'clock, we're looking for a couple of isolated cells expected to be strong, but really more activity down towards Ocean City for Thursday, according to the run of the models that we're getting for right now. The amount of rain, well, we're looking at Long Neck, possibly 4 inches of rain near Long Neck. If that verifies, we're looking for widespread flooding to occur for all communities that are along the water close to the Long Neck community. But along the coast, temperatures in the 80s, winds out of the south at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. We're looking for a high of 83 in Georgetown for tomorrow, 85 in Cambridge for tomorrow, and 84 in Snow Hill. So for the next 4 to 5 days, our chances of rain have diminished a bit, but we're still concerned about at least a marginal threat of scattered showers and thunderstorms for Thursday. As we go into Friday, it begins to clear out, and we need that clearing out. So another day of rain for us in Chincoteague and Assateague. We're also expecting at the very least another day of rain, Ocean City and Fenwick Island, with temperatures in the 80s, dew point temperatures in the 70s. So all bets are off as far as avoiding another round of storms. We're likely to deal with another round for Thursday, widespread in Lewis as well as Rehoboth Beach. Finally, here's Look's extended forecast. The only thing I can give you a guarantee on, of sorts, Saturday and Sunday is looking clear. But even after that, here comes another round of rain Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday.
Thank you, Paul. Now to the tragic Texas floods. At least 120 confirmed dead and more than 160 still missing after the flooding in central Texas. Rescue crews are battling challenging conditions and high temperatures as they search through the devastation. Mary Bella Gonzalez is in Kerrville with today's developments.
6 days after deadly flooding ravaged central Texas, dozens are still missing as search and recovery efforts stretch into the night. The community of Kerrville left reeling from the tragedy.
The screams is what haunts me. Every time I close my eyes, I hear people screaming.
More survivors are sharing their stories. Fear and confusion consumed neighbors as the floodwaters rose.
My husband kept yelling at him, "Throw me your baby, throw me your baby," so he can save the baby. Everybody was disoriented and they did not know what to do.
More than 100 people are confirmed dead, and that number is expected to rise. Some of the victims were children. As the nation mourns for the victims and their families, criticism is growing against the local, state, and federal response to the flooding.
I just view this loss of life in such a mass way as being totally inexcusable. And I believe that there were failures at every level of government, and no one wants to be held accountable for it.
Kerrville officials say they're willing to face the tough questions, but right now they're focused on finding the missing.
After you all go home or go to the next story, we will still be here. We live here.
In Kerrville, Texas, I'm Maribel Gonzalez reporting.
Sources say FEMA's response to last week's flooding in Texas was slowed by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem's cost controls. Every contract and grant over $100,000 now requires her personal sign-off before any funds can be released. Multiple sources say Noem's didn't authorize FEMA's deployment of urban search and rescue teams until Monday. That's more than 72 hours after the flooding began. And a source also says Texas requested aerial imagery from FEMA to help search and rescue operations, but the imagery was delayed as Texas awaited Noem's approval for the necessary contract. A 50% tariff on copper coming up, what the president is saying about his latest tariff. The Trump administration suing the state of California over transgender athletes.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
The Trump administration has filed a lawsuit against the state of California over its policies allowing transgender athletes on sports teams of their choice. The suit alleges the state law violates Title IX. That's the federal law that prohibits sex-based discrimination at schools that receive federal aid. It's the latest move against states and public schools by the Trump administration and the Justice Department. The Justice Department filed a similar suit in Maine and threatened another against Minnesota. New tariffs are on the way for copper. Yesterday, President Donald Trump said he will impose a 50% tariff on all copper imports. It's unclear when the new tariff would take effect. Copper is a key component in the manufacture of a variety of goods, including electronics, machinery, and cars. Tariffs on copper could make those goods even more expensive. This would represent a fourth across-the-board tariff from the White House. And right now, a 25% tariff applies to imported cars and parts, and there's also a 50% tariff on all steel and aluminum. Staying in politics, President Trump has hit Brazil with a 50% tariff, in part due to the treatment of the country's former president, Jair Bolsonaro, President Trump's political ally. Bolsonaro is currently facing charges that he plotted to overturn his loss against President Lula in Brazil's 2022 election. In the letter, Trump added that unsustainable trade deficits against the U.S. also contributed to the high tariff, even though U.S. and Brazil has had a good trade surplus amounting to more than $7 billion last year. His 50% tariff is the highest amount President Trump has put on any nation thus far. A new survey suggests Americans are feeling more optimistic that inflation won't heat back up. That's according to a consumer report from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. There's been anxiety for months about fast rising prices related to tariffs, but this survey finds that anxiety eased a bit in June. Consumers' near-term inflation expectations fell for the second month in a row. It fell to a 3% level, a return to where the year began. The June survey also showed job security and income growth expectations improved. Coming up in sports, the Phillies were on the ropes against the San Francisco Giants heading into the series finale. Today's game was another blowout, but in which direction? Also, heart deficits in sports, how kids can still compete through the condition.
We salute Michael Gaylor, a proud Vietnam War veteran and a hero not only in service to his country, but to his family. His strength, sacrifice, and unwavering dedication as a provider and father have left a lasting impact. Described as a true hero by his daughter, Michael's influence helped shape the strong, independent woman she is today. His legacy of love and service will always be honored.
Spicer Brothers and CoastTV are honoring military persons and first responders serving Delmarva. If you have a family member, friend, or community member that you would like to nominate for a CoastTV salute, go to coasttvsalutes.com.
About 900,000 U.S. children are estimated to be living with a heart condition. That, according to the CDC. Parents of these youth may worry about sending their child to summer camp or allowing them to take part in summer sports. And many of those children have heart conditions and can safely exercise and play sports. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more on how to come up with a safety plan.
Getting regular exercise can help a child grow strong and reduce the risk of certain diseases, but those with heart conditions should talk to their doctor.
Some of our patients have very minor heart conditions, which shouldn't affect their participation in sports whatsoever. Some of our kids have very complex heart conditions where maybe they can still play sports, but they need some extra safety nets in place.
Dr. Robert Whitehill with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta says to come up with a safety plan with your child's doctor, starting with what physical activity may be best suited for the child. Next, make it happen. This may include medication changes, stress testing, or maybe a heart rhythm monitor. Then talk to coaches or camp leaders to make sure there's an emergency action protocol in place, including CPR training and having an automated external defibrillator close by to wherever the child is being active.
We want to make sure that there is a practiced plan for how to use it.
Finally, he says everyone should know the warning signs to watch out for during physical activity. Those include the child having trouble breathing, their heart racing, and it not slowing down with rest.
And then fainting or near fainting are very important red flags that would say, hey, maybe we're doing too much, or maybe we need to stop what we're doing, rest, get evaluated, and reassess what sports we're a part of.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Dr. Whitehall says there are new guidelines that can help families navigate different sport activities and find one that is right for their child, depending on their specific heart condition.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good evening, sports fans. The Phillies face the Giants today, looking to avoid their 5th sweep of the season. Let's get right into it. We start in the 2nd inning, no score yet. Justin Verlander on the mound for the Giants, and JT Realmuto pulls the Verlander pitch through the hole for a single. 1 run scores. Phillies lead 1-0. There will be plenty more to come. 4th inning, Bryce Harper crushes the Verlander pitch deep the other way and gone for a solo home run, his 10th of the year. Harper finished 4 for 6 with 3 doubles and a homer. Now it's a 2-0 lead in the 6th inning, and Nick Castellanos lines the Verlander pitch for a single. 1 run scores. Verlander finishes with 7 Ks and 2 earned runs allowed in 6 innings. The Phillies lead 3-0 in the 8th. Then it's 4-0. Then Bohm hits the Tristan Beck pitch up the middle for a single. Harper scores. Phillies lead 5-0. Later in the 8th, Phillies lead 8-0. Then Kyle Schwarber drives the Scott Alexander pitch deep the other way and gone for a 3-run home run, his 29th of the year. The Phillies get 7 hits in the game and win 13-0, tying their highest score total of the entire season. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night.
After the break here on Coast TV News at 11, as we take a live look into Ocean City, we have a final check on your forecast. Cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. Sign up now for our Feel Good Friday newsletter at coasttv.com/sign up directly to your inbox each Friday. And you might find a story like this one on there. Rehoboth Beach hosted top lifeguards from across the Mid-Atlantic for the 2025 U.S. Life Saving Association's Regional Championships. The competition kicked off this morning right in front of the Rehoboth Beach Patrol's new headquarters, where more than 300 guards from New York to Virginia competed in high-intensity sand and surf events, hoping to qualify for nationals next month in California.
Best of luck to the locals. We want them to go ahead and represent. All right, so in Milford, things have calmed down a bit for us, and that's good. I am expecting another round of storms for tomorrow, so don't quite get so relaxed till we get to maybe Saturday and Sunday. But in Milford right now, we're at 72 degrees. We're much cooler thanks to the rain-cooled atmosphere. We still have some lingering scattered showers that'll push through the area. Here's the latest look at the rain. Now, we still have an active flood watch, and rain is still falling as we speak. And we've had over 2 inches of rain in some areas in a very short period of time. And we're still picking up some isolated cells where actually some hail that's falling going towards the Rehoboth Beach area. Oh, please don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, it's just low-level circulation. Didn't mean to panic you. My apologies. All right, so anyway, as that continues to move towards the northeast, we'll continue to monitor it throughout the night. Tim Murphy of Lewis, you're our umbrella giveaway winner. Be quite handy right now, right? Courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line. The number is 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away, sponsored by the law offices of Bruckstedt, Mendalis, and Federico. Finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. Another round of storms for Thursday, maybe even Friday, but at least Saturday and Sunday, things are looking a lot brighter and a lot drier.
Thank you, Paul, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For more news and local weather, download that Coast TV News app. The Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon, is up next. We'll see you tomorrow morning for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.